Hello everybody and welcome back to another Speno waffle beer review. Every time I do a beer review I keep meaning to call it that, especially for the ones that go on Instagram. Now I'm wearing my reading glasses because I actually smashed and destroyed my other glasses, my best glasses. I'm very good at destroying glasses, so these are where you have to look over the top. Anyway, I am bringing you'll notice I've got my Thornbridge t-shirt on, and it is the 20th anniversary one, celebrating 20 years of Jaipur. And in this month's beer club, in the June beer club, they are celebrating it big style with 4 versions of the Jaipur. So I'm going to show you what I've got and I'm going to review one of them. So we've got the pink grapefruit Jaipur, 5.9%. That will be reviewed. Then we have the Jaipur Joins Faith Indian Pale Ale, 5.9%. This one I'm really excited about. This is what I'm going to review now. Then we've got like the classic Jaipur Indian Pale Ale, and this celebrating 20 years. Lovely, as the t-shirt as well. All the cans got that on. A really nice. I've not even researched much what that means, but it could be the place it all started. And I know where Lord Marples has something to do with that. I think he was the lord of the manor or whatever with that there. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not very good at my history. But that's your standard, I think, standard Jaipur. And then this is very interesting. We've got a hazy Jaipur. Every one of them are 5.9%. Now, what's interesting about the Jaipur and the Faith is I don't actually think I've done the even more Faith at the 8.4% one, but I've done the review, but it never went out. I don't think. I can't find it because I think it was one of those nights where I'd had a couple of beers and I did it, and I was a little bit too tipsy to do it, so I didn't put it out there. But I don't think I've actually reviewed the Faith. I've had, I think, both the 5.4 version and the 5% version of Faith, Northern Monk's Faith. It's just a classic beer. It doesn't really need reviewing as such. It's a little bit like Jaipur doesn't. And I have reviewed that on cask. And I probably have done, if I look right back on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram, I probably have reviewed it. But it's them sort of that. It's a real like favourite-y sort of beer of mine. Now, I'm a big fan of Northern Monk and I'm a big fan of Thornbridge, as you know. Thornbridge are my favourite brewery, alongside Everard's Brewery being, Leicester Brewery. So let's read what they've put here before I get it out. So it says, in 2024, we teamed up with our friends at Northern Monk to create something special, an exciting collaboration that combined the best of our 2 flagship beers. So yes, so Faith being the flagship beer of Northern Monk, by blending ingredients from both recipes. We created a truly remarkable brew that showcases the essence of our breweries. As part of our 20th anniversary celebrations, we invited Northern Monk for a return brew, one worthy of making Jaipur's milestone birthday. Absolutely. The result is seamless fusion of our signature style, bursting with tropical fruit, citrus and pine. A light sweetness in the body provides perfect balance before a tantalizing bitter finish rounds out this celebratory beer. Okay, let's get it out of the fridge and let's see what it is about. So here it is. This one's been chilling. Hopefully we're going to be about the right temperature, and I've got it in. It's just I've rinsed this out and it's quite warm in here, so it's a Jaipur glass, Thornbridge Jaipur glass that I happen to acquire. So let's get it out into the glass and let's see what we're going to get here. Oh, it smells really nice. Smells very tropical. Smells very lovely. Nice big head. Really big head. Nice car. I'm going to put this light on actually because I'm not sure whether it's a little bit. Oh, there we go. So hopefully my bubbles will just disappear then when I bump that. No. Come on, like my glass. So this glass has been actually underneath the counter since I acquired it. So I've probably not gave it as good a clean as it should. So yeah, criticise me if you want, because I'm always banging on about how clean your glasses should be. But, you know, the odd couple of ones here and there ain't going to hurt, or I've seen much worse in a pub. But, yes, you're shouting at me like, Speno, you're always really anal about it. Well, you know, you got to be, ain't you? So, there it is. This smells so tropical, it's unbelievable. I'm just going to put this on there so you can sort of feast your eyes on it as well, on my really brilliant stand that I keep meaning to make. So yeah, it's that light colour, light sort of hazy. I mean, this is hazy. I don't know what the hazy Jaipur is going to be, but it's sort of hazy. I can't even tell you how much aroma is coming off this beer. I'm getting lots of orange, regardless of what that said. So what did this say that we're going to get? Bursted with tropical fruit, citrus and pine, light sweetness in the body provides perfect balance before a tantalising bitter finish rounds out. So regardless of what that says, we know what Faith tastes like, we know what Jaipur tastes like. But that is absolutely, for me, bursting with real tropical, real sweet orange. That is so inviting, and we're not going to spend any more time. The glass is slipping through my hands. I've got cream on my hands as well. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's all natural and it's all good and it's all fun, and that's what the waffle's about. Cheers, everybody. So happy birthday to Jaipur. And absolutely fantastic that you've teamed up with Northern Monk and brought this beer, because I think both these brewers are absolutely crack on. Cheers. Oh, whoa, lovely. Oh, absolutely beautiful, that is. Oh, do you know what? You can taste both sort of beers in there, if you know what I mean. There's definitely a sweetness involved in that. That's got quite a bit more of a bitter bite than what both them beers have. I know they're like the Faith. I've actually not had a Faith for a while. I'm going to go and get one and have that. But the Faith has like real zesty, punchy, sort of fruitiness. Jaipur has a bit more, for me, that nice grapefruity sort of like bitterness at the back as well, and very like quite piney and quite forward in its flavours. But with the two of them together, it's really sort of giving out a real burst, like it says, of fruit. As I pop that up to my nose here, I can just smell it's really orangey, sort of orangey lemony, really on that plane. The bitterness is incredible. I'd say this is actually slightly more bitter than the normal Jaipur. It's got a really good, a really fantastic bite to that. Absolutely lovely. There's some resinous sort of like taste there that's coming through. Doesn't taste like 5.9 like it never does. And always check on, if you ever have a Thornbridge beer as well, always check on their website, because it will tell you the optimum temperature to have the beers at. This one is between 5 and 8, so don't chill it, don't have it too cold. You know, but yeah, so 20 years for Jaipur of making this flagship beer, Jaipur, that's still absolutely amazing. So, you know, if you imagine 20 years ago, beers tasting as good as what Jaipur did, that's absolutely incredible. I really like that. You know, we've got all this craft beer out now everywhere, and everybody's doing hazy this, hazy that, all the different things. But 20 years ago, 2005, we are drinking beers as good as Jaipur. And then I'm not 100% sure when the original Faith came out. Maybe you could tell me in the comments. Because I've always sort of like, the funny thing is that because Faith being Northern Monk's flagship beer, when Northern Monk bring out a different type of beer, like when they brought out the Aunt Bessie range, I just think, wow, that's Northern Monk doing their novelty thing that will appeal to people. But when they bring out good beer, their good range of beers, like that Even More Faith and that classic IPA they did and things like that, that twitches me and gets me going. You know, when they're doing their proper good crafted beers, and when they do it so well. They also just do brilliant novelty beers that don't appeal to the crafties, but they will appeal to people. You know, there's New England IPAs out there that are just full of adjunct fruit, like juicy flavours or whatever, that don't appeal to me, but there's people who love them. Even with our beer community, the pub shed and beer loving community, there's lots of people out there that drink great craft beer all the while, and we all drink the great beer, and they love the Bruce Forsyth or whatever it is. And I don't, but it doesn't mean it's a bad beer or it's not a bad beer. That's quite juicy, I think, you know, like unnatural sort of flavours in there. But people really like that. But I like to taste more of the hop sort of juiciness in a New England IPA. So, you know, everything is subjective, and that's what I like about it. So to bring these classic beers together and to work together is brilliant. And all the while I'm waffling onto you now, I can smell this. It's quite danky in that respect, that like it's really filling my space with this lovely orangey, lemony, real fresh sort of like, yeah, real fresh orange and lemons type of fruit. I mean, like I say, where they're saying tropical fruit, citrus and pine, well, that's definitely the citrus. The citrus is really there with the orange and lemon for me. As soon as it touches your tongue, it's zingy, it's punchy, it ignites your tongue, ignites your taste buds. It's definitely got a more of a resinous, sort of hop resinous taste about it than the normal Jaipur or Faith. It's definitely it is more resinous. It's got that nice pininess balanced with the fresh sort of fruit that's coming through. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. That is it'd be interesting to actually get a Jaipur and a Faith and do it and mix them together. Let me enjoy this for a minute and I'll come back to you, because I don't want to rush it down too fast. So, back. I've drank a little bit more of it. I've just been enjoying it. I've put the cans in the fridge and things like that while I've been enjoying it, because you tend to, when you do a beer review, you tend to drink it fairly quickly, and you know, you don't really want it to go too quickly, and I'm only having the one, which is unusual for me to say. But yeah, in conclusion, two great beers coming together, two great ingredients and two great breweries bringing together a fantastic beer to celebrate Jaipur's 20th birthday in June this month. Not exactly sure on the day, but isn't it strange? Like, this was, they got together in 2024 and sort of like produced this, if you know, or came up with this, and then they're releasing it now. So I'm not sure how long this is going to be about for. I don't know whether it's a limited edition. I believe it's available on the website. I've just actually checked in, and I've gone in without signing in, because this was obviously part of the beer club, and you normally get the beers exclusively to the beer club, the new releases. But I've just sort of like logged out and then gone back in as just, you know, Joe Blogs, and you can you know, order the beers and add them to the basket. So whether or not it's still recognising that I've just come out and gone back in, I can't be sure, but go and check out, because they'll be available anyway. All this celebrating the 20 years, all the 20 anniversary beers are going to be available. And in doing that, and in seeing if I could buy the other beers, the hazy Jaipur, it basically said formerly known as the double dry hopped Jaipur. So yeah, you know, that's basically going to be the same as the double dry hopped Jaipur. But anyway, Jaipur. So there's lots of Jaipur to be had, but I would definitely check this out. It's absolutely fantastic. It really is. Gets a Speno waffle 10 out of 10. Lovely, resinous, orangey, lemony, piney, Nice bite, lingering bite that leaves itself on the end, but then that resinous sort of like sweetnessy, resinous silkiness comes through and just calms that down. Absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed that. Absolutely brilliant. Catch you on the next one. Cheers, everybody.